Have you ever driven down the road and getting completely lost and find an amazing place that was actually kind of fun? Well, I did that last summer in St. Louis. Actually, it was a little bit outside of St. Louis. I was completely lost on some country road and I drove up on a sign that said, "Do not feed the elk or buffalo." That's when I realized I'd driven into something. Come to find out, it's Lone Elk Park. What I found here was free roaming bison and elk, among other things. But I didn't know that at the time, so I didn't get to find any of this stuff out until I got home, so I'm going to tell you everything I didn't know before I accidentally drove through here. Welcome back, everybody, to American Travel Fun. I'm Chuck, your host, and here we talk about traveling in America and having fun doing it. So otherwise, what is the damn point? Now on with the show. I was just about 30 minutes outside of downtown St. Louis, Missouri, lost on some random country road, like I said. I found a free drive-through wildlife park featuring wild elk, bison, deer, and turkeys. This place is perfect for nature lovers, photographers, and those who just want to take a peaceful outdoor drive and see some wildlife. And believe it or not, this park was once a World War II and Korean War military ammunition testing site. Originally, they called it Tyson Valley Powder Plant. The U.S. government used the land to test explosives, and they would use things like the old quarry to park their vehicles, they built bunkers, and some other buildings, which still stand today. And the wildlife was removed during the military operations, so don't worry about Bambi or any of the rest of them, obviously for the ammunition testing. And after World War II in 1948, a small herd of elk and bison were introduced to the land. But during the Korean War, the government had reacquired the land, and in 1958, all wildlife herds were destroyed except for one. One lone bull elk survived, apparently years. And when St. Louis County had reacquired the land, again, in 1964, the elk inspired the name, Lone Elk Park. But where do the rest of the elk come from? Well, in 1966, 6 additional elk were brought in from Yellowstone National Park, thanks to the efforts of the local school children and the local Lions Club. Now, exactly what they did to do this, I could not find out. Obviously, they raised money, but how, I don't know. I don't know if they bought the elk or if they just had to pay for the transport or if they did cook-offs. I have no idea. And in 1971, Lone Elk Park officially opened. In 1973, the bison were introduced from the St. Louis Zoo. Bada boom, bada bing, you have your drive-through park with elk and bison, 30 minutes outside of St. Louis. The oddest thing I ever saw, or even heard of. Would never think, major city, free-roaming bison and elk. Now, obviously, the main attraction here is the drive-through wildlife experience, and the animals you'll see are the elk, which can weigh up to 1,000 pounds and can have antlers up to 4 foot wide. And then there's the bison, which can sprint up to 35 miles an hour despite their size. And you do have to go slower than that. We'll get to that here shortly. You also see white-tailed deer and wild turkeys, among other animals, wildlife, birds, bunnies, what have you. And just some of the basic park rules to keep in mind while you're there is you do need to stay inside your vehicle at all times. Do not feed the animals because they have plenty of food out there. We don't want them getting used to getting fed by humans. And you definitely need to drive slow. Basically, this is just a very slow idle. Just a smidge over your idle. You just need to drive slowly and respect the wildlife crossings because they are the boss. If they want to cross the road, you let them cross the road and do not beep your horn. Do not drive around that. You let them go. They are the boss. Otherwise, the ranger will get you. He will come out and he will arrest you. And rangers do have the authority to arrest you. They actually go to the police academy. I found that out while I was worked at the Kentucky State Park System. The rangers, they go to the police academy. So they actually have the authority to give you a ticket, arrest you for everything a cop can. They just typically don't leave the parks or do anything outside of it. But they can. Keep that in mind. And when is the best time to go? Early in the morning. The best time to see the wildlife is definitely first thing in the morning. As soon as the park opens, I'd be there, right when the sun's coming up, or right after. Hot afternoons, the animals like to rest in the shade, which will make them a lot harder to find because the trees are set back a little bit and, they're brown. There's leaves on the ground. You ain't gonna see them in the shade. Now, the day I had gone, when I found the place by accident, now I didn't find this place until around midday, sometime probably about 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was a hot summer day and it was getting ready to storm, as you can see by the video. It was starting to get dark and windy in that. So they actually came out a little bit because it was getting cooler. So I got a little lucky, but definitely you want to come in the morning time. And if you want to explore more, Lone Elk Park does offer some hiking trails, 2 specifically. White Bison Trail, which is a 4-mile scenic loop, and then the longer 7-mile trek, Chub Trail. And also no pets or motorcycles are allowed to protect the wildlife. Motorcycle, that's going to be bad for you. Buffalo hears that, those things are loud. He's going to come after you, and he's going to bash you, and you don't have any doors. And there's been no fishing in the park since 2017, so leave your fishing rods at home, people. No fishing here. Nobody wants to have a moose or a bison sneak up behind you while you're fishing. And if you were just wondering if there's anything else in the local area to do just outside of Lone Elk Park, yes there is. You have the World Bird Sanctuary, which is literally right next door, home to bald eagles, owls, and rescue birds. And then you have the Castlewood State Park, which is just a short drive away, offering incredible views of the Merrimack River and great hiking. I actually did go check that out, and no, I did not get any pictures of it because I didn't think about it. I was too busy hiking, looking at the river. But it's a really nice view. You should really go check that out. And I would definitely go check Lone Elk Park out. You know, again, even though I've been there, I would go back to Lone Elk Park just to get away from the city vacation. Sometimes you go on a city vacation and you want a place to get away because you're tired of all the people. Go to Lone Elk Park. You can take a nice little drive. You can have a picnic halfway in between. There's benches and that. In the center there, you can take a little turn off. Stretch your legs along the trails. It's nice for history buffs if you know about this stuff ahead of time. So what'd you guys think? Would you guys go to Lone Elk Park? Have you guys gotten lost before and found something else? I'd like to hear your story about what you found when you got lost. Those usually end up being fun places and most memorable, the ones that you got lost while finding while lost. I'm not sure how that goes. So what'd you guys think? Did you guys enjoy Lone Elk Park? Do you plan on going there? What have you guys found while getting lost? What amazing places have you found while getting lost? I know there's some out there. Let me know down in the comments below what you found. Let me know if you like Lone Elk Park and should I do more videos like this or not. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and until next time, have fun, guys.